Hiya! Welcome to In the Kitchen with Tabby. So tonight in the Kitchen with Tabby, we're having breakfast for supper. So you guys commented a lot on my post today and said that you love biscuits and gravy, and you got me craving it. So I made some homemade drop biscuits. You probably already saw that video. And tonight I did some gravy and some fried eggs. So I hope you guys love it. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun making it. So let's get cooking. All right, guys. All of you, well, almost all of you, a lot of you, the majority of you, commented biscuits and gravy on my what's your favorite breakfast food. And so you really got me craving biscuits and gravy. I made those biscuits earlier for our strawberry sauce, and we've got some biscuits left over. I've got them in the oven warming up, and I thought, I'm just gonna make some biscuits and gravy. We're gonna have breakfast for supper tonight. So I'm gonna make some eggs and some biscuits and gravy, but I just wanted to show you, I didn't make gravy for a long, long time. I did not think I could do it. I just was always afraid. I thought it wouldn't turn out right. My mother-in-law's gravy was so good, and I just didn't want to compete with that. And then when I started watching Brenda Gant 4 years ago, I saw her make gravy, and I thought, that doesn't look that hard. I think I can do it. So this is how I've been doing it ever since I watched Brenda do it. So I've got my sausage all cooked up, and it's a little bit brown here. I'm using turkey sausage, but you can use any kind of sausage you want. I didn't think you'd want to watch me cook it, so I went ahead and cooked it. But I am going to add a little bit of something to Cluck About from BT Lee's. It's got some sage and marjoram and things in it, and I think that would be really tasty on here. So I'm going to, well, if I can get it, there we go. It's a full bottle, so it takes a second for it to come out. All right. I'm going to put some of that on there. Now, turkey sausage does not have a lot of grease in it, so I did add just a little bit of avocado oil to this as I was cooking it. So that kind of added some of that heat in there. Or, I'm sorry, it added some of the oil in there for me. All right, so my sausage is all done. So what I'm gonna do now is just take a little flour, not really a measurement to it, just depends on how much sausage you have, really. And I'm just gonna sprinkle some flour on top of that cooked sausage. I would say this was probably, if I had to guess, probably 2 tablespoons, 3 maybe. And then you're just gonna stir that around on the sausage. Let that kind of cook that flour flavor out of it. And I have my stove set on 3 right now, so it's not real hot. It's kind of a low heat. So you just kind of stir that around. It doesn't really look like it does much, to be honest with you, but it will once we put the milk in there. Now my biscuits, I have them in the oven on warm, and I didn't want them to dry out, so I left them in my skillet, but I put them all to the side, and then I took a paper towel and wet that paper towel, not dripping wet, but pretty wet, folded it in fourths and laid it right in the center of that pan. So as those biscuits are warming up, they're gonna draw the moisture out of that paper towel, and it's gonna keep them from drying out while they're in the oven. A little tip for you there if you don't know that. All right, so that's probably long enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my milk, just a little at a time. I'm using 2% milk, but you can use whole milk if you want. That's totally fine too. And then you just stir this up. And that flour that you put on top of that sausage is going to start to thicken in here. You want to just kind of start with less is more with the milk until you see about how thick it's going to get, and then if it's too thick you can always add a little more milk to it. We like our gravy with a lot of sausage, but if you don't like a lot of sausage in your gravy, you can just leave it out. I used a 1-pound package of the turkey sausage. Genio, I think was the brand that I used. I love the Jimmy Dean sausage crumbles that are already cooked. They're fully cooked, and they're sausage crumbles. Those are probably my all-time favorite, but I didn't have enough. I have some, but I didn't have enough to do it, so I just went ahead and used the other sausage. All right, I can feel that starting to thicken up. So I think that's going to be about right on the amount of milk. Now, as it starts to cool, it might get a little thicker, but we can always add a little more milk if we need to. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I think you can see it okay. I don't like to make it too thick because, like I said, as it sits and as it cooks a little more, it's gonna keep getting a little thicker. That looks pretty good right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn my burner on for my eggs. Let's give this a little taste. Make sure it's got enough seasoning. That's really good. That's really good. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt to it because I didn't season the meat at all. So I'm just going to add a little bit of salt. Well, the meat had a little seasoning, obviously, because it's turkey sausage, but I didn't add any salt to that. I only added what you saw me add, the BT leaves. Something to cluck about. And I figured since it was turkey sausage, that's a poultry, so I figured that would be all right. But you can see how much thicker this is getting? Yeah, that's perfect. You don't want your gravy too thick when you put it over your biscuit. All right, gravy is done. That's all there was to it. Pretty simple, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of this seasoning in the bottom of my pan here. And I'm just going to do these over easy. Nothing fancy. All right, my pan is ready. Let's get our eggs going. We're going to have some fresh canned peaches on the side also. Thought that would go good. I don't know about you, but I always have to have orange juice with my eggs. What about you? Do you like orange juice with your eggs, or do you drink something else? Of course, I like coffee with my breakfast, but when I'm having eggs, I don't know why, there's just something about it. I gotta have some orange juice with my eggs. You can see how nice and thick that sausage gravy is getting. I think I actually might add I'm just gonna add just a skosh more milk. Just to thin it down just a little bit. It's amazing, it does not take much flour at all to get it to thicken up where you want it to be. It happens pretty fast. I think that's gonna do it. Ooh, these smell good. Got something to cluck about. That smells really good on there. Separate them a little bit here. Try not to break a yolk, but I think I did. That's okay. I'll make that one mine. I'm not the best egg flipper. Not the best. There we go. I think I only broke one. We're gonna get the biscuits out. so you can see what I did. See how I set that little napkin down in there? And it's not completely dry, but it's definitely dried out quite a bit, but those biscuits are nice and soft and fluffy. Not dried out at all. I told you what happens when things start cooking and smelling good in the kitchen. People start showing up.
I smelled it.
All right, I think we are ready.
I'm not alone.
No.
Michelle.
Yeah, look who showed up in my kitchen. There's Bella. Get my orange juice to have with my eggs. All right. Those are for Dale. I'll get my biscuit here. I don't know about you, but I like to break my biscuit up a little bit before I put my gravy on. That is a good biscuit, guys. That is such a good biscuit. Look how beautiful. It is so fluffy. All right, let's get some of this gravy so we can try it. There you go. That's what's for supper in the kitchen with Tabby tonight. Biscuits and gravy. Because of you guys, you made me want it with all those comments on that post today. Oh yeah. That just feels like home. Makes you want to do a happy dance. I've been doing a lot of happy dances lately. A lot of stuff I've been making has been really good. So, all right guys, there you go. There you have it. I hope you make this recipe. I hope you love it as much as I do. I think you will. Remember, you can use the turkey sausage or you can use regular pork sausage, either one. And just don't put too much flour in there. You just want to put enough to coat that meat really well, okay? All right, so there's that. So guys, you know what I need you to do. I need you to spread this around like some good butter. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you felt like you learned something new or if you were encouraged or inspired in any way at all, please spread this around like some good butter. Like and comment on the post. That helps me out a lot. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you like and comment, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click that little bell, notification all, so that you always get a notification when I post a new recipe and you never miss out. Okay? This recipe and all of my other recipes you can find on my website at inthekitchenwithtabbi.com. I think I've just about got them all posted, and I'm going to start working on that newsletter so that we can get that newsletter started in April. I'm super excited about that. So don't forget, check out the website, inthekitchenwithtabbi.com. You can print off all the recipes from there, and this one will be under the breakfast category. Okay? All right, guys. Remember, Christ is the unseen guest at every dinner table, silent listener at every single conversation. So just make sure those words coming out of your mouth, whether you're talking to a friend or your spouse or your children, just make sure those words are uplifting and edifying and loving, just sweet and pure like honey, and that you're just shining your light, because that's what we're called to do. Thank you so much for coming into my kitchen with me. I really love having you here, and I appreciate you letting me into your home. It's an honor and a privilege, and I don't take it lightly. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.